Peace. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay Everyday. And today I'm going to talk about XXXTentacion and speaking ill of the dead. I don't know when this became in vogue or in fashion, but when people just decided to basically just start talking shit about people who die. And I think it's really effed up when you talk shit about people who were murdered. I saw this narrative start coming out where people were basically just, for lack of a better word, spitting on the boy grave, and he's not even been buried yet. I heard some people talk about, what you speak come into existence, which is complete bullshit, because I like a Rolls Royce Wraith and I can speak it all into existence however many times I want, but I don't see no Rolls Royce Wraith materializing. So that whole shit about, you speak this into existence and it's going to happen, is complete bullshit. Second of all, he was looking for a motorcycle. I don't know if he purchased it or just was looking or was going to come back and do all the paperwork and everything. And supposedly he was going to be robbed. And no matter what he's done in his past or whatever, nobody deserves to be sitting in a car and to be murdered. Straight up. Biggie didn't deserve it. Tupac didn't deserve it. Chinks didn't deserve it. And any other number of people I can think of off the top of my head, which I'm not trying to do with this post, didn't deserve to be murdered. The reason why I was bringing this post up, because I really wasn't going to talk about it, because I think a lot of people have already been talking about it, but for some reason people tend to think, well, let me explain or show you all the faults in this person's life while us talking about him being murdered, as if that makes some big fucking difference or changes the narrative about what happened to him. I think I've talked about this before. Quincy Jones that talks shit about dead people, and where people just tend to want to spit on somebody's grave, and you have a bunch of these keyboard theorists and satirists, and and even people in the mainstream media who just wants to shit on somebody who want to shit on somebody that was murdered at 20 years old, probably for, I don't know how much cash he had on him. He might have had a few $1,000s on him going to buy a motorcycle. Maybe he was going to pay cash for it or whatever. And then let me talk about another person. I'm not going to say his name because I don't even want to give him no publicity. But I'm just going to give you some background on this person. This person's 50 years old and continues to make his living revolving around hip-hop. He hasn't contributed anything to society except to be the rankest and coarsest person on earth. He's talked about doing stuff to people's children, and just basically have been a greasy talking person. And he's never, ever really been checked about it. So I'm going to just leave that there. But he said that, this dude was caught lacking in the streets, and you can't be out here and be lacking, and how many times was he shot? And all of this. And I'm like, caught lacking? Number one, you're not from Chicago, so why are you using their slang? Number two, I think the boy is based on his troubles, with the law, he might be considered a felon, so he probably can't own a firearm. But to say, oh, he shouldn't have been out here caught, he was out here caught lacking, and didn't he learn anything from Biggie and Tupac? See, you have people in the popular media and all of this stuff. This is with the same narrative talking about, oh, you got to leave the hood. Oh, you got to leave here. You got to leave here. Let me let you in on a little secret. Biggie wasn't in his hood when he got murdered. Tupac wasn't in his hood when he got murdered. Both of them had bodyguards around them when they got murdered. So did JFK. So did his brother R.I.P. Everybody had bodyguards around them, but somebody still ran down on them with a firearm and killed them. So when I hear this stuff, or hear people talk about somebody who's only been dead a day and a half, he just passed away. But I continue to hear people talking about, oh, I'm not going to weep for him. Oh, I'm not shedding no tears over no woman beater, or, oh, he beat on a pregnant woman and all of this. Regardless of the case, he may have done those things. He may have been guilty of those things. I don't know the particulars of his case. But I'm damn sure not just going to believe something just because the internet says it, or because somebody was convicted, or the state says somebody has done something. Let me just make those 2 points. Number one. And if he hit on a woman, then he deserves everything that comes with that from hitting on a woman, especially a pregnant woman. Let's make no mistake about that either. But at the same time, I'm not going to shit on somebody who was murdered sitting in a car. He wasn't robbed. He wasn't gotten. From everything that I've gleaned from looking at the situation, I don't think he was talking about gangster this and oh, I bust my gun and all of this kind of stuff. And he was straight up and down murdered. So when I hear people talk, oh, I'm glad that he's gone. Yeah, next we need to do R. Kelly. And I'm hearing this from people that have, number one, have never shot nobody, that are not gangster, and probably haven't lost nobody to violence. I've lost a number of friends and very close associates to violence. In a 2-year period, about 14 people have died that I know, personally have had interactions with. Were they the best of people? Absolutely not. But 14 people I know were murdered from gun violence. Not 2 or 3, 14. So when I hear somebody talking ill of the dead, it puts a nasty taste in my mouth, because I don't wish that on nobody's family. I don't wish that on even my enemies. Yeah, I may have an issue with you. Yeah, I may have a problem with you. Yeah, it may even come to a point to where me and you may have to settle it in a way that's where talking can't resolve the issue. But to sit outright and murder somebody, that's dead wrong. And it's even more wrong when you hear people spit on somebody's, spit on the grave of somebody who hasn't even been put in the ground yet. And I hate to sound so blunt about it, and I don't mean to sound that blunt or disregard the young man who just lost his life. But at the same time, where has some respect for the dead have gone? Where is recognizing the fact that, yeah, he may not be a great person. Yeah, he may have been changing his life. but you're sitting in a car and somebody wants to rob you and you don't even get a chance to give it up. Soon as somebody points at you, they start shooting. And then you got these raggedy ass people who's over there holding up their phone while the boy is sitting there dying in his car. It's garbage. And it's complete bullshit. And nobody deserves to die like that. Shot like a wild animal that got to be put out their misery. And that's it. That's all I have to say. And to the young man who lost his life, XXXTentacion, rest in peace, young brother. I'm sorry about what happened to you. And I'm even more sorrier that people have to shit on your name. And the fact that you're gone at 20 years old. Rest in peace, young man. And I'm out.